Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to continue with our equations unit. We are now on lesson 3, which is solving multi-step equations or solving equations where we have the distributive property. I suspect this will be an easy lesson because we know how to do distributive property and now we know how to solve equations. So let's get right into this. You should be on page 276, ready to go. Looking down at the first try it says a collector has a box of 32 figurines. The value of each figurine increased by $2.32 over the past year. A box of figurines is now worth $114.24. What is the original cost, X, of one figurine? So we know he has 32 figurines, and we know that the value of each one has gone up by $2.32, and now the total worth of the box is $114.24. Remember, we always want to start by finding that total. So here we need to, our total money is $114.24. One figurine is X, and we know the cost of one figurine has gone up, so added $2.32. And that applies for all 32 figurines. So we know we need to distribute that 32 out front, so 32 will get multiplied by X. 32 will also be multiplied by $2.32. And then that will still leave us with a total of $114.24. Remember, we only distribute to what's inside the parentheses. 32 times X is 32X. 32 times $2.32 is $74.24. And again, we are still equal to $114.24. The first thing we would have to do is subtract that $74.24. So I still have 32x on this side. 114.24 minus our 74.24. That would, when I subtract 74.24 from 114.24, I'm left with the even 40. Let me get my highlighter. Up here, x is being multiplied by 32. To undo that, we would need to divide by 32. And 40 divided by 32 is 1.25. So the original cost of one figurine was $1.25. Really, all we did was distribute it out and solved. I know this is a lot of boxes and looks a little overwhelming, but I think when we kind of see it with our normal routine and putting our X, it will become easier. So don't let that question overwhelm you. Let's move right along to the bottom of page 277. So we have 3 problems here. Let's actually start with problem C, and then we'll go back. We'll kind of work backwards. So before we can solve, we see that we have to do the distributive property. We know that because we have parentheses with a variable inside and a number outside the parentheses. So we need to distribute that number outside parentheses. -4 times P is -4P. I'm going to come over here with it. -4 times -212. Negative and a negative make a positive, so I'm adding, and that is 848. And I do not distribute to the 44 because that's outside my parentheses, so I'll keep parentheses. Now that we have done that, we can go ahead and solve this. So I draw my line and make my 2 sides. Remember, the goal is to get the variable by itself, and I must undo the order of operations. So I have to do it backwards. So the first thing I need to do is subtract this 848. 44 minus 848. Those cancel. So over here, I'm left with -4P. I'm going to go back to black. -4P equals -848 204. All right, I have to keep it going because the variable is not by itself. So P is being multiplied by -4, so I have to divide by -4 on both sides. And that would leave me with P equals 201. It's positive because a negative divided by a negative, same signs, positive. All right. Now, this is where we're getting a little bit tricky. So, we should see that up here in my numerator that I have to distribute. But before I can do that, I must get rid of this fraction. Before I can distribute, I have to undo this fraction because it's kind of like my distributing is in the fraction. So before I can even touch that, I have to get it out the fraction. Well, to do that, remember, a fraction is the same as division, so I can multiply this by 3, and that will get rid of that. Multiply this by 3, and then I'm left with my -1/2 times b minus 5 equals 5 times 3 is 15. Now I can distribute and then solve. -1/2 times b is -1/2 b. A negative and a negative make a positive. 1/2 times 5 is 2.5 equals 15. I forgot to draw my arrow when I multiplied those. Now we are just solving. So I see addition first. Oh gosh, what did I do? So I must subtract 2.5. That leaves me with -1/2 b equals 12.5. B's being multiplied by -1/2, so I need to divide by -1/2. And B will equal -25. All right, let's do one more together. So I have this same problem over here. Before I can really distribute or get into that numerator, I have to get rid of that denominator. Well, remember, a fraction is the same as division. So I can multiply this by 3/10, and that will cancel that out. I just have to do it to my other side as well. So now I'm left with 4/10 times x minus 45/100 equals 9.2 times 0.3 is 2 76/100. Make my side, or before I can make my sides, I have to distribute. 0.4 times x is 4/10 x. 0.4 times -45/100 is -18/100. I don't distribute to what's outside. I keep him the same. Now I can do my two sides. First thing I need to do is add 18/100 to both sides. So I'm left with 4/10 x equals 2.94, I believe. Yes. And now I need to divide by that 4/10 that's being multiplied by x. X equals 7.35. We will do more problems like that in class, and I will start incorporating those on Bell Work next week because it's important that when we see these, we don't freak out. We just learn to undo each thing piece by piece. So for the rest of class, what I would like you to do is questions 4 and 6, and we will pick up there together.